Morning, everyone. Welcome. Today is July 10th, 2025. We're meeting in person and virtually at the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. The time is 9:32 a.m. Today's meeting will be recorded. Better manage our meeting. If you wish to provide public comment, please raise your hand to be recognized. Once recognized, please state your name and note that all public comment will be limited to 2 minutes. Written comment on today's agenda item should have been received by email on our website by the close of business yesterday, July 9th, 2025. The chat feature has been turned off. If you have technical difficulties, email us at askus@wsgc.law.gov. And now I will call the roll. Vice Chair Lawson? Here. Commissioner Ibsen?
Here.
Commissioner Charles? Maybe he's having difficulties with his microphone.
Looks like he's logged in.
It does. Senator Conway?
Here.
Right. Senator Holy?
Here.
Representative Kloba? Here. And Representative Waters? Okay, not seeing him. All right, so we will get, so we do have a quorum. We'll go ahead and get started. The first is tab 1, the consent agenda, May 8th commission meetings, June commission meeting minutes, June 25th special meeting minutes, new licenses and class 3 gaming employees, and the house bank card room list. Do we have any comments from commissioners? Any public comments? Not seeing any. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented by staff.
Seconded.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Right. Now we have the director's reports.
Morning, commissioners, ex officios. I'd like to introduce our new HR director, Melanie Watness. She's in back there. Melanie comes to the Gambling Commission with over 30 years of HR experience, both in the state level as well as county and public education, or higher education, excuse me. She also has experience working in HR with other limited jurisdiction law enforcement agencies, from Office of Insurance Commissioner as well as the Parks and Washington State Parks and Recreation Commission. So thrilled to have her join us. I'll just touch on one other thing. There's information in the packet about the latest disordered gambling advisory work group. So there's some information in there about that. But then just also wanted to point out that Washington State's Attorney General, Nick Brown, has entered into, has joined part of the amicus brief with the Third District Court of Appeals with New Jersey, as well as over 30 other state AAGs and over 60 tribes and tribal enterprises have also entered into, joined in this amicus brief against Kalshi, and this issue at hand is whether federally licensed commodities markets or prediction markets can offer trading on sports events outside of the state law and as well as the outside of tribal gaming compacts. And so certainly something we'll keep you informed of as that action moves forward. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will move to tab 2, which is a proposed tribal gaming compact amendment hearing. We have the Lummi Nation representatives, Tina Griffin, Executive Director, and Johnny Bray, Tribal Relations Advisor.
Okay. And I'm going to pause. Do we have Vice Chair Adams and Council Member Washington here?
I'm not seeing them unless they logged in under a different name. If they could raise their hand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, this is Julie. I received a message from Commission Chair Lawrence that they're having some technical issues. They can't unmute.
I have just made them a presenter, so it should work now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we go ahead and test out?
Good morning. Can you hear us?
Good morning. Yes, thank you.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. So I wanted to make sure the tribe was an active participant before we started the hearing. So we'll go ahead and get started. So if we can go to the next slide then. So we do have the Honorable Vice Chair Terrence Lawrence joining us, as well as the Honorable Councilman Dean Washington joining, as well as Sean Lewis. He's the Tribal Gaming Director, and so they'll be speaking in just a few minutes to talk about the impacts of what this will mean to the tribes moving forward, or to the Lummi Nation moving forward. In 1988, the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act was enacted, which sets out the framework in which tribes and states can negotiate Class 3 gaming activities on tribal lands as permitted by the state and when conducted in conformance with the tribal state compacts. Next slide, please. The topics that can be negotiated between the tribe and the state for Class 3 gaming are outlined in IGRA. And those topics can include the type of gaming activity, criminal and civil jurisdiction, what the fees will be for state regulation, remedies for breach of contract, as well as standards for operation of those activities. Next slide, please. Class 3 gaming provides tribal governments the funds necessary to build and sustain their tribal infrastructure. And IGRA requires then the states negotiate in good faith when negotiations are requested by a tribe. Next slide, please. So both the tribe and the state have shared interest in protecting the public from criminal activity, ensuring that gambling is fair and honest, and minimizing the negative impacts on emergency services from within the local communities. Next slide, please. Gaming Compact Amendment process is a long one, but we're close to the finish line. What we have done so far is the tribe has requested an amendment to the governor's office, who has referred it to us for me to start negotiations with the tribe, which we have done. And during that timeline, during that process, we've received direction for state policymakers. We have now reached tentative agreement with the tribe on proposed compact amendments. Following the timelines outlined in statute, legislative hearings both in the House and the Senate have been completed. The Senate hearing was yesterday. The House hearing was at 8:30 this morning, both seeking public comment, for which public comment, no public comment was received from those legislative hearings. And then today, this amendment is before you for vote, both by the commissioners as well as the ex officios. And Johnny will go through the next stages of the process. And we have, while you'll take public comment, before you make your final vote today, I just want to make you aware that we have not received any public comment as of 5 p.m. last night, any written comment as of 5 p.m. last night. And unless you have any questions for me, I would just want to make sure to thank the Lummi Nation, who we've enjoyed working through this amendment process in a collaborative effort, and we do very much appreciate our long time working relationship and good working relationship with them. Had an opportunity to tour their reservation and their gaming facility recently. They were very hospitable, and they have just a beautiful reservation, and just really am thankful for that relationship and their hospitality. Thank you. So if aren't any questions for me, we'll turn it over to the Honorable Vice Chair Terrence Adams and Councilman Vendine Washington to share with you then what this little bit about the impacts to gaming on the nation.
Squachil, I want to thank the esteemed commission here for allowing us to come before you all. My name is Chetaluk. I also go by Terrence Adams, the Vice Chairman of the Lummi Indian Business Council. I also have my colleague here,
Jim Washington, Lummi Nation Council member, and appreciate everybody being here today.
and I also have with us.
Hey, good morning, Sean Lawrence. I'm managing the Tuitex and Snap. I currently serve as the Lummi Nation's chair of the Gaming Commission.
Again, hope everyone's having a good morning. We're excited to be here before you all today. I wish it could be in person so we can see everybody's beautiful faces, but we can go to the next slide at this time. So a little bit of background here about the Lummi Nation and our gaming operation. We negotiated and signed one of the first tribal state gaming compacts in 1995. Our tribal government gaming in Washington State has yielded substantial economic gains for tribes and the state of Washington. Tribal gaming creates an opportunity to generate revenue to support essential governmental functions in our communities, such as providing services, building infrastructure, and creating job opportunities. Appendix E and G will provide expanded gaming opportunities for Washingtonians. Next slide. Regulatory. No greater priority for the tribe than to protect the integrity of the game and to ensure the welfare of customers who play. Electronic table games will be regulated in a highly regulated manner to protect the integrity of the game and to ensure the welfare of the customer, like current tribal gaming. There'll be detailed internal controls required on this expanded service. Lummi Tribal Gaming Commission gives its undivided loyalty to the nation, a testament to the leadership of the tribal government to ensure gaming remains protected. Next slide. So the proposed amendments, extension of credits to the customers, higher limits, that's in Appendix E, and in G, that will be electronic table games. And these proposed amendments, there will be some needed changes to definitions to be consistent. I believe that is the final slide. Again, on behalf of the Lummi Nation, we hold our hands up to you all for giving us just that bit of your time and say Haishka Siyam. If there's any questions.
Thank you. Okay. Appreciate that.
So Johnny, if you could go on to and complete your portion of the presentation. Thank you.
Hello and good morning. For the record, my name is Johnny Bray. I am the Tribal Relations Advisor for the Washington State Gambling Commission, and as such, I am a member of Director Griffin's negotiations team, and it is my honor to present the culmination of the work that we have done with the Lummi Nation that has resulted in this proposed compact amendment, which would be their sixth amendment upon approval. So this is a summary of the compact changes, which, as the nation already mentioned, is the electronic table games appendix, the limitations appendix, which includes the extension of credit and limitations on wagers, which has also happened with other tribes, and the possibility of expansion to a second facility. And the packet also includes the other changes that the tribes have mentioned that would carry these amendments into effect. I don't know if there are any questions about any of these things.
We can continue forward, Johnny.
Okay. Next slide. Okay, so today we are taking public comments, and the next steps will be that after the vote with you folks today, the vote would be either to forward this to the governor for adoption of the proposal or return to the director for further negotiations. And as mentioned by Director Griffin, we checked again today, and there have not been any further comments today.
Great, thank you. Do any of the commissioners have any questions or comments on anything?
No, sir.
Do we have any public comment from anybody in the room on anything? Senator Conway, go ahead.
I make a motion to forward the compact to the governor. Second.
Can we amend it slightly for review and final execution by the governor? Senator Conway.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. And then second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing any of those, we can do a roll call vote. Commissioner Lawson.
Aye.
Commissioner Ibsen.
Aye.
Commissioner Charles.
Aye.
Senator Conway.
Aye.
Senator Holy.
Aye.
Representative Kloba.
Aye.
And I don't believe Representative Waters is here still. I vote aye. So congratulations to the Lummi Nation, and thank you so much for attending. Appreciate hearing from you all. And I think we have a motion that passes.
Heishka, once again, thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Next, we will move to tab 3, which is the commission meeting public comment guidelines.
So, Chair, did you want to introduce this? Or? Okay. So staff put this together as an option for commissioners to consider, given the information or given the informal process in which we have been limiting time for public comment. We thought this would provide a little bit more structure in terms of providing notice and clear and open transparency to those wishing to provide public comment. And so we have drafted this in for your consideration. And if this is something you'd like to move forward or make changes to, that is certainly at the option of the commission. But we felt this would give a little bit more structure and notice and provide clear and transparent information to those wishing to provide public comment moving forward.
Okay. Do any of the commissioners have any questions or comments?
I'm just broadly supportive of it. This is the norm in most public meetings, whether it's local government agencies, and the real benefit of having written very clear rules that everyone can anticipate a long time in advance is that even if there are passionate disagreements or just strong feelings about any particular subject matter, people can at least have confidence in a good process. So that's just a very simple, thoughtful process. I'm happy to support it.
Great, thank you. And then it looks like we have a couple people that signed up for public comment. So Carter Heald.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today, commissioners and staff. Is it on? Is green.
Okay,
and
good.
is green good? Okay.
Good
Yeah.
to go.
All right, green is go. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Carter Heald. I'm a resident of Kent. I just really quickly wanted to talk about public comment guidelines. I've spent a lot of time at various city councils around the state, and it just seems to be the norm that for public comment somewhere between like the 3 to 5 minute range. So I'm just looking today for it to be extended from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, because some of these things that we talk about are very complex in nature, and it's very hard to speak about a lot of these things without it being at least 3 minutes. So I was just wondering if maybe we could make a motion today or something to get it to 3 minutes at least for public comment. That's all I have to say about that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And then Natalie Easter.
Correct.
Good morning.
Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, my name is Natalie Keister, and I'm here on behalf of the Washington State Cardroom Ambassadors. I'm a current resident in Auburn, Washington. I've been attending the meeting since April. Initially, there was a 1 minute time limit for public comments, which was extended to 2 minutes in the May meeting and again in the special June meeting. Today, we also have the 2 minute limit, is what was told to us. Thank you for putting together such a great outline of public comment, how we should take care of this. Like my colleague said, the norm across the state is 3 minutes to 5 minutes. There's different city councils that we visited. That is more the norm. You'll be taking action on the item regarding the public guidelines. I have thoroughly reviewed this matter and still believe that the 2 minute time limit is attempting to silence also the card rooms and the card room industry as a whole. As someone who has experienced marginalization in society, addressing this issue is particularly challenging for me. Before the April meeting, there were no time limits on public comments at Washington State Gambling Commission meetings. I feel that the presence of myself and others in the card room industry who are trying to convey important messages is being undermined by these time restrictions. I urge you to consider this before taking action. Thank you for your time. Cardroom jobs matter. WSGC staff, agents, and special agents jobs matter. Our community matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Comments by any of the commissioners? Do you have any other public comment? I don't see any.
Just wanted to make sure we
Oh. Okay, does anyone have a motion?
I move we adopt this amendment to update the public comment rules.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? No? All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, motion has been passed. Next, we have tab 4 with the preparation for the 2026 legislative session with Tricia Gillian. Is in Louisville today. Morning.
Hi, good morning. Tricia Gullion here from Louisville to discuss, Tricia Gullion, Legislative and Rules Manager, to discuss potential legislation for the 2026 session. In May, we talked about a couple different topics. Staff brought forward 2 ideas regarding animal cruelty, animal fighting, and elder abuse, and then Commissioner Lawson brought forward a 3rd suggestion for legislation for 2026. For clarity purposes, I'm going to go over the first 2 proposals from staff and then ask for a recommendation from commissioners on how we should proceed, and then I will go to the 3rd proposal regarding self-exclusion lists and share feedback, and then ask Commissioner Lawson if she wants to provide any comment as well before I get feedback from you all on how we proceed in the future. Staff held feedback sessions on June 16th and June 23rd, where a few other ideas were proposed to bring forward. They include legalizing sports wagering in card rooms and looking at reducing the self-exclusion timeframes that we require. Stating 5 years seems to be a little long. staff believes we can address the self-exclusion timeframes through rulemaking and does not need legislative action. So regarding feedback for the animal cruelty, animal fighting proposal, there were concerns brought forward regarding the costs of expanding the criminal enforcement. I think some suggestions would like to see us go to the legislature and ask for funding for this specifically. And then also some of our tribal partners would prefer that our agency focus on investigating illegal gambling activities that impact tribal gaming facilities. Moving on to elder abuse, specifically theft from a vulnerable adult. Feedback, some of the feedback we received would be require a person who is charged with theft from a vulnerable adult to go through a gambling disorder assessment with a certified gambling counselor. Some other feedback included concerns moving the threshold from $5,000 for a first degree theft to $1, potentially moving the number to a different amount, somewhere in the middle, like $750. Additionally, there were concerns on ensuring how we would confirm the source of where the funds came from and that the funds were used from a vulnerable adult. And there were also concerns of how are we tracking, funds that are used in other activities, which is outside the gambling realm. So from those first two, I will also say that we received some general feedback for legislation for 2026 in the sense that it's going to be a short session. It's going to be another tight budget year. Perhaps our efforts are best used to, talk to the legislature about financial, like what an impact would be if they potentially came back and were looking at taking additional funds. So I think that, all things considered, my recommendation would be maybe to focus 2026, as it is just a short 60-day session, on what is going on in the budgetary world of our state. So from that perspective, that's kind of my recommendation, is we maybe put these on hold for a little bit and come back at a later time. Any comments?
Charles?
It looks like Senator Conway.
Oh, Senator Conway? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was interested on, I didn't quite understand by increasing penalties for animal cruelty, or I assume we're talking about the expansion of the different gaming going on with animals. What is the cost? I mean, if there is a penalty established, what is the cost?
We don't know the direct cost as of right now, but what the proposal would do would, currently our agents can't investigate animal cruelty, animal fighting cases right from the get-go. They have to have a gambling nexus. And I mean, as we all know, the animal fighting is a predicate for illegal gambling. So what our proposal would do would just be letting our agents moving or changing the definition to allow our agents to investigate these crimes before the gambling nexus is established.
And that is something you're proposing to do not next year, but the year after?
That's what my recommendation would be. Yeah, it would be to wait until we have a longer session so that we can gather more information, start reaching out to legislators, talking about the idea in general, do a little bit more fact finding on our end to get some stats and numbers so that we are very prepared when we come into the long session.
Yeah, I guess I just wonder if, we know there's been an expansion of this kind of gaming going on, and delay only allows it to continue. I'm just curious whether or not, seems like all we're trying to do here is give some authority to our agents to investigate these concerns.
Yeah,
And
so that was,
I just, I understand the concern about anything that would add cost to, that we would have to go to the state asking for dollars here.
and that was, and
That would be a concern, but I'm not sure by just expanding the authority here, we're adding cost. All right. I just question that. That's all.
and absolutely, and if commissioners want to move forward with that's something that's perfectly acceptable. Just for your reference too, that was just one piece of it. The other piece of it would be allowing the agency in charge of these investigations where animal fighting is taking place would allow them that if there are roosters, birds on site that have been involved in cockfighting and have been severely mutilated, disfigured, would allow them to euthanize them on site as well. So that was kind of this. There was two pieces to our proposal.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the commissioners?
Representative Kloba.
Oh, sorry, Representative Kloba, go ahead. Didn't see you.
Hello. Well, I appreciate that the commission is considering particularly the piece of legislation or potential legislation around the animal cruelty, that sport of using animals to fight each other is really quite concerning. And I would like to just kind of advocate for consider going ahead and working on that for this coming legislative session. And the reason I say that is because it often takes more than one session to get something passed. And so often in a short session, it's a good time to start really socializing the idea, helping legislators get an understanding of the nature and scope of the problem. We certainly have sort of an informal caucus called the Fur Fighters, who really are champions for animal cruelty. And so I think that they would be very interested, and I think it's worth probing a little bit more before you make a full decision, just to see if there's some passion for it amongst several legislators. Like I said, fur fighters would be a group that I would think of right away.
Thank you for the feedback.
Any other comments by any commissioners? Or
I think that I would be comfortable tabling at least the topic that I had brought up while we focus on some of the budget concerns that Tricia has identified. But I hear the ex officios here in wanting to at least start the process of educating legislators on the issues with animal fighting. And so perhaps we move forward with just that one item.
yeah, I would be in support of that too, starting the research and kind of getting conversations going. Maybe asking Representative Kloba how to get in touch with the fur fighters and going kind of starting there and going from there would be fine. But then also focusing on the budget piece for next year and trying to get ahead of that.
I hope the minutes reflect fur fighters. Let's that sounds the most prudent course.
Thank you.
So if I may, am I to understand that you want us to go ahead and work on agency? Because we certainly can put together the packet, and then you don't have to make a decision until the September meeting, whether or not, we'll have more information and feedback from stakeholders, tribal partners, other interested and impacted groups, and because that is definitely part of the process in terms of putting the packet together. Okay, so, and then in the meantime, go ahead and work on these other topics in the interim.
What other topics?
Well, as in staff's recommendation and in regards to Vice Chair Lawson, not so much in terms of preparing for agency request legislation, but in the next year, then, work behind the scenes for education on the potential changes to what could be done to bring more participation with the tribal entities into the self-exclusion program. I think that's what you're referring to.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so I think this year, just starting on the actual legislative regarding the animals.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, okay. All right. Next we have tab 5, which is a rule up for discussion with Adam Amarino, our legal manager.
Good morning. For the record, Adam Amarin, Legal and Records Manager. Today in tab 5, we're discussing the hearing rules package. This is going to be amendments to chapter 230-17. For background, the Commission heard a rule petition in 2023 that presented some issues. Some filings had been received less than 24 hours before the Commission meeting, which forced an unnecessary continuance. This situation showed us that current rule framework does not adequately adjust motions, responses, and other pleadings with regard to timeliness. Staff and commissioners believed a rule change was necessary to address these issues, reduce unnecessary continuances, and clear up confusion. Thus, commissioners voted to initiate rulemaking in July of 2023. Today, we have the new draft rules attached in your packet. These proposed changes to the hearing rules include new procedures for the electronic submission of documents and notices for commission materials. They limit the scope of interrogatories and requests for production from an unlimited number to 30, and they amend the submission process to clarify deadlines. This rule is up for discussion only today. We're soliciting public comment today, as well as holding a public feedback session later this month on July 24th. A tribal partner feedback session will be held that same day. After we receive feedback, we will make any necessary changes to the draft rules and bring it back before the Commission again at a for possible filing.
Any questions or comments from commissioners? Any public comment? Seeing anything? All right, so this was just a discussion item, so we can move to tab 6. Adam again.
All right, tab 6 is our Polaris rules, or our IT modernization project. Staff has been working to replace the current legacy IT system in an effort to modernize technology. With that, certain rule changes were necessary to make the implementation of this, the new system successful. Commissioners initiated rulemaking in May of 2024 to explore what changes would be necessary. And today in your packet, we have 7 areas where new rules or modifications are needed. Those rules include a change to Chapter 230.03, which would simplify the bingo application. Further changes to Chapter 3, as well as changes to Chapter 5, would allow individuals to establish good cause if they're not able to apply online or file online or to make a payment online. Finally, we have changes to Chapter 6, which would allow individuals to submit gambling inquiries online. Currently, our rules require individuals who have new gambling equipment to go through an application process and put in the required deposit. Individuals would be able to submit an inquiry to see if their equipment would meet the definition of equipment. That submission would come with a flat fee as well as of $500, which would be changes to Chapter 5 of Title 230 as well. So these rules are for discussion only as well. We will be having similar tribal partner and public feedback sessions this month. And once we receive that feedback, we will bring these rules back before the commissioners for filing at a future meeting.
Great, thank you. Any comments, questions from commissioners? Any public comments? Not seeing any. All right, thank you, Adam. Our final tab is a presentation on self-exclusion by Mark Collier. Sorry, did I say that wrong? Special Agent. Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners, ex officios, staff, and those present in the audience today. My name is Mark Collier. I'm a special agent with the Gambling Commission, and I'm assigned to the Regulation and Enforcement Unit. I'm also tasked with working directly with the self-exclusion program by being a resource to the public, to those who've enrolled, to our house bank card rooms, and to staff. Next, can I get the slides?
If you'd like, so you can see the screen.
All right, can I get the next slide, please? All right. The program, self-exclusion program, began on May 1st of 2022 with the purpose of allowing persons with a gambling disorder or a gambling problem with the ability to self-exclude or ban themselves from, and that would be to voluntarily ban themselves from our house bank card rooms or participating tribal gambling facilities. As of May 1st of 2025 this year, we have 1,279 people who have enrolled in the program. And the numbers that I'm going to present in this report are generated based on our self-exclusion year, which starts on May 1st of 2024 and ends April 30th of this year. Special agents conduct multiple inspections at each of the house bank card rooms, and one of those inspections is specific to the self-exclusion program, and that's to ensure that our house bank card rooms are in compliance with the rules and that the program's working as it should. All of the house bank card rooms have had that inspection this year and are in compliance. And as of this date, although many of our tribal partners have their own self-exclusion programs within their tribal casinos, there are no tribal casinos that are participating in the self-exclusion program. Next slide, please. Okay, on May 1st of 2024, we had 925 participants. By the end of April 30th of this year, we had added an additional 354 new participants to the self-exclusion program, which leads to a total of 1,279. When a person enrolls, well, that's actually a 38.2% increase over last year. When a person enrolls in the program, they must select a period of time that they want to be enrolled in, and that includes a 1 year, a 3 year, a 5 year, and a 10-year enrollment period. During the previous year, which ended again April 30th of this year, we added 117 new people into the 1 year period of time, which brought a total of 419 into that have enrolled for 1 year. We added 56 to the 3 year period of time, which brings that total up to 200. We added 39 to the 5 year, which brings the total to 141. And we added 142 to the 10-year period, which brings a total of 519 people out of that 1,279 that they've enrolled into the 10-year period. When you look at percentages, we're looking at 33% of those who enroll select the 1 year, 16% select the 3 year period, 11% select the 5 year, and 40% are selecting the 10-year period of time. And if you look at it too, about 3/4 of those who are enrolling in the program are selecting either the 1 year or the 10 year, with the remaining 25% selecting the 3 year or the 5 year. Next slide, please. And when a person's period of enrollment is about to expire, we send them a notice 45 days prior to the expiration date, and we advise them that if they want to remove their name from the list, they have to submit a self-exclusion removal form. If we do not receive that removal form, their name stays on the list and they stay in the program. As of May 1st of this year, 2025, out of the 1,279 people who have enrolled, 302 have become eligible to come off the list. 137 have actually removed themselves off the list, and 165 have chosen to remain on the list. And right now, we don't know if they've actually chosen or they've just forgotten to send in the removal form, but they remain on the list, although even though their term has expired. Next slide, please. Now, all of our house bank card rooms are required to keep up a current and updated list of those on the list of the self-exclusion list. And when a person is identified as being self-excluded when they come into a house bank card room, the house bank card room is required to advise us as special agents within 72 hours. And from the time period of May 1st, 2024 through April 30th of 2025, we had 139 incidents where persons on the self-exclusion list were identified as being inside the casino. That's 6 more incidents than happened the previous year. And what is interesting too is this includes 31 incidents where a person's term limit had expired, but they, for some reason, didn't remove themselves from the list, and they were asked to leave the casino. And just some examples of how excluded persons are identified. It didn't change much from last year. They're identified by security before they get in the door. They're identified in the bar or the restaurant while they're gambling at the table games, and sometimes at the cage when they're cashing out their chips. Next slide, please. When a person signs up for the self-exclusion program, they're advised and they agree that if they are identified as being self-excluded while they're gambling, that their chips or anything of value that's owed to them will be confiscated. And the Washington Administrative Code number 230, 23-030, it states that a minimum of 70% of the confiscated funds will be dispersed to the problem gambling account that's administered by the healthcare authority. The remainder must be distributed to a charitable or a nonprofit organization that provides problem gambling resources. May 1st, 2024 through April 30th of 2025, there were 63 incidents out of the 139 incidents where chips or something of value was confiscated. And the total amount sent to the healthcare authority was $24,450. And I'm not aware of any of the confiscated funds that were sent to a charitable or a nonprofit. They've all been sent to the healthcare authority. Next slide, please. Now, as I stated before, annual compliance inspections at house bank card rooms are completed. Regarding self-exclusion, those inspections verify compliance with the training requirements, enrolling persons, monitoring or preventing participants from gambling, and the confidentiality that's required regarding the list. Examples of what was noted in some of those inspections regarding training. Sometimes there was employees that might be confused about where forms are kept. There were several incidences where training of new staff didn't occur within the 3-day time limit. self-exclusion list is not updated within 48 hours. That's one requirement, is that when we send out an updated self-exclusion list, the House Bank card rooms are required to update what they have within the 48 hours. Other items noted were player club points not zeroed out, and some of the incidents were not reported to agents in a timely manner. Next slide, please. Now, we do have, when a person enrolls, they can enroll in the self-exclusion program in the House Bank card room, or they can fill out the form themselves and send it in. There are times when the self-exclusion form, the enrollment form, is not complete, and so we do not process that enrollment form. We do our best to contact the person if it was a person sending it in as an individual, and for some reason they didn't get it notarized or fill out the form properly. We do not process that. We do our best to contact that person to have them send in a completed form. And also, there have been times when the House Bank card rooms have sent in forms that maybe they didn't sign. So we have our agents go out and we recontact the House Bank card room to have them complete the enrollment forms. During this last year, we had 16 forms that were denied, and out of those 16, 10 are still outstanding and incomplete forms because we haven't been able to contact the individual who brought the form or sent the form in. Next slide, please. We have had instances where people who have been enrolled in the program have tried, well, they've inquired whether they can get off the program. Last year, we had 14 people contact us requesting to be removed from the program. And of course, when a person signs up, they have to agree to a certain term, and we cannot remove them from that list. Reasons why they wanted to be removed from the list: they didn't understand what they were signing up for. Participants believed that the exclusion only applied to the House Bank card room where they were enrolled. Some have said that they were intoxicated at the time. There were language barriers, and some simply don't want to be on the list anymore. And then others did not remember checking a certain time frame. Next slide, please. We do track how we are receiving the forms, the enrollment forms. As this slide shows, 1,035 out of the 1,279 persons enrolled have enrolled at the House Bank card rooms. That's 81%. 151 have mailed their enrollment form in with a notary's stamp or signature. We've had 80 people enroll at our Lacey office, and we've had 13 people mail their enrollment form with a problem gambling counselor's signature. And with that, that's the end of the report. Are there any questions?
So if someone doesn't take themselves, so they get the letter saying they can remove themselves, and if they don't do it, can they just do it anytime they want after that?
Yeah, they can.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they don't get.
Yeah, they can. We send it out 45 days ahead of their expiration date. They can fill out the form and send it to us, and we'll file it, but they still will not be removed from the list until that date that their term expires.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That was interesting. There's a lot of good information out there. Any questions or comments by the other commissioners?
No, I actually had the same question you did, so thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here this morning. Have a good day. Alright, so that brings us to our final public comment period for anything today. And I again have Carter Hughes.
Thanks for allowing me to speak again. My name is Carter Heald. I'm a resident of Kent. First, I wanted to thank you guys for attacking the issue of animal abuse and these rings that are going on with illegal animal betting. That's a good thing that we're taking care of. As I said earlier, I have been talking with a lot of different city council members from various cities in Washington, and a lot of them agree that one way to really help reduce this problem would be definitely to allow house bank card rooms to have sports betting. And not only for that reason, when I go to these city council meetings, quite a few, notably Yakima and Tukwila, they have some serious budget shortfalls that they're worrying on. And Yakima specifically, it's like a $9 million budget deficit. And so when I spoke to some council members over there, they were wondering why they don't have sports betting in their cities. And I really couldn't give them a very good answer. I'm just like, I wish we could have it because it could really help them. Like, we're talking for their tax revenue, we could really put some strain that they have some serious strains and budget concerns when they're dealing with looking at cuts for a lot of their public systems. And of course, nobody wants to cut police force. Nobody wants to cut anything of that nature. Public service is very important to all these cities. And so one way that we could definitely just help a lot of these places is to allow things like sports betting there. And also that, it definitely helps that the animal abuse aspect of things. Now, also another house bank card room went down and closed their doors about a week and a half ago, RC's in Sunnyside. And that's very unfortunate. So this problem that we have where house bank card rooms are closing is not exclusive to Maverick. It's just considering that the margins are too thin now, and the problem being operation costs just go up year over year, and we're just very limited. We have the table limit, we have the betting limit, we have no sports betting. So as a young guy in this industry, I look at this, and generally when I walk in the room at any house bank card room, I'm usually the youngest guy in there or close to it. And I wonder to myself, why don't people that are my age want to come in their 20s come into this industry? Okay,
I'm sorry.
apologies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then we have Natalie Keister.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, my name is Natalie Keister. Mark Collier, thank you for your presentation. That was beautiful. I'm here on behalf of the Washington State Card Room Ambassadors, but more importantly for those who are struggling with addiction. An unnamed source shared, I learned about self-exclusion program and signed over a year ago. The process was straightforward. However, I still found myself going to the other mega casinos. I decided to pursue self-exclusion at those locations as well, but I faced discomfort during the process at one property. I felt uneasy when I was taken into the back hallway to be placed on the exclusion list as if I were being treated like a criminal. To this day, I still receive mailers, emails, and text messages trying to lure me back. I will keep the names of the individual and the mega casinos confidential. In closing, I wanted to highlight that I have not received any responses to the 37-page letter that was forwarded by Vicki Christopherson on June 18th to the commissioners, as well as to many other legislation and among other lobbyists. I encourage engaging in open discussion. Thank you for your time. Cardroom jobs matter. WSGC staff, agents, special agents, jobs matter. Our community matters. Thank you for your time.
Great, thank you. And I did not realize you were looking for a response. I'll review the letter again and see if one is warranted. That we did read it. I'll take that into consideration.
Thank you.
Any other public comments on anything today? All right, well, our next Gambling Commission meeting will be held on August 14th and 15th at the Liquor and Cannabis Board. We are now adjourned at 10:31 a.m. Thank you, everyone.